What is the number one thing you need to know if you're buying your first home or your 10th home? I've got that tip right after this. Hey there, it's Ryan Skaggs, and this is the Mortgage Minute. This channel is dedicated to everything mortgage, real estate, and interest rates. And today we're talking about my absolute number one tip or phrase or narrative or idea, whatever you want to call it. But here it is. Real estate is hyper local. Stop watching headlines about the U.S. housing market and what is going on. Interest rates are local. Real estate is local. What I mean by that is I'm going to start into the Chicagoland area based in Illinois, just north of Chicago. So let's take my market. I call my market the North Shore market of Chicago. Primarily single family homes, people moving out of the city, moving up north, my North Shore market. So median sale price, $864,000. So pretty high price point up in the quote unquote North Shore compared to the median sale price of condos, say in the city, which would be a lot of first time home buyers, of $375,000. Now, these are data that is coming from June of 2024 or all the way into August of 2024. So, obviously data lags a little bit behind, but drastically different markets. And within different price points, you're going to see different levels of inventory, different levels of things like list to sale price. Let's talk about that next. The North Shore market list to sale price right down here, 102%. That means if the property is listed at $100,000, it's going for 102 or 102.4% to be exact. Now you go into Chicago and it's 100.4%. So it's only 2% different, but it does tell you just how different those markets can be in terms of how fast these properties are coming off the market. For instance, Chicago, 52 days on the market, the North Shore, 42 days on the market is average, right? So these are the sorts of things that really play a difference. Now, let me compare that to the U.S. housing market. The U.S. market list to sale price is below 100% because you've got markets that are actually going down in value a little bit versus up in value. Primarily, Chicagoland and Illinois does not see the ups like some of these other regions have seen, Florida, California, whatever it may be, that are now seeing declines in their pricing, right? So we just don't see the highs, we don't see the lows. But my point to you is that it is hyper local. You go onto some of these U.S. housing market websites that are providing forecasts, and you'll see the top 5 or 10 housing markets in the country, and you'll see them up 10, 15, 20%, and then you'll see the lowest 10 housing markets, and they'll be down 10, 15, 20%. That means we're seeing upwards of 30 or 40% difference in a sway between these markets. And what I mean and what I want you to take away from this is that you can't just talk to your coworker that bought in the western suburbs and you're looking in the southwest suburbs and you're looking for a townhome and they bought a single family home. Or someone in Chicago is, out hanging out with some friends at a barbecue and talking about how hot the condo market is, between $300,000 and $500,000, but yet they're talking to somebody that's trying to buy a townhouse in somewhere else. It is considerably different. Mortgage rates are the same. That's my world, right? So that is why we have an average mortgage rate. There's not just one quote unquote mortgage rate, the average 30-year fixed. And I'll show up here, average 30-year fixed according to Freddie Mac is a great representation of where rates are at from week to week. With that said, though, is that you're going to see interest rates move in different markets depending upon the regional, you see interest rates in Florida different than an interest rate in, say, Illinois. There's not a lot difference, but there's a lot more that goes into it. A whole nother video if we want to get into the regionalness of these interest rates. But for sure, real estate is hyper local. So my tip is don't look at those headlines. My summary or my bonus tip here at the very end, if you've made it this far, make sure and click that subscribe button. I'd be forever grateful. It would help out the channel, putting out weekly videos. Now, my bonus tip though, is you need to be talking to someone that knows that hyper local market. If I was to tell you that I'm looking for a single family home in the North Shore and I'm asking a real estate agent in the city of Chicago that primarily sells condos, that's maybe been in business for 2 years, to tell me about the market in the North Shore for single family homes, accident waiting to happen in my mind. What I mean by that is you could be overpaying. They don't necessarily know if you're on this side of the street, the school district matters than this side, right? There's so many different avenues that you really have to understand in these local markets, right? How these prices, if you're buying a $600,000 to $800,000 single family home in the North Shore, in my market, they're going extremely fast, right? Now, if you're going up above $1 million, then they're just not going as fast. So just understanding where you need to come in to be competitive and what that market is so dependent upon your team that you put together. And that starts, right? It starts with an experienced agent. I'd love to say it starts with a lender. That's what I do every day. I think it starts with an experienced agent. And then they have connections to be able to refer you to great home inspectors, great lenders, great attorneys if you're in an attorney state, escrow officers, title companies to save you a little bit of money. All kinds of different things that they can do. So let me know what questions you have. Put your comments below. How's your market doing? Put that comment below, click that subscribe, stay safe, and we'll see each other again very, very soon.